Imagine Cal Newport sitting alone in a quiet Seattle cafe, laptop closed, resisting the siren call of Twitter and email. Around him, the world hums with constant distraction, but he's about to show you why this buzz is your biggest enemy. Deep work, a rare superpower in today's non-stop distraction economy, is his secret weapon. But how did he discover it? And why does mastering it feel like unlocking a hidden skill that turbocharges your brain and your output? Stick around. Because once you dip into deep work, shallow tasks will never pull you back the same way again. First up, why is deep work suddenly a rare treasure? Newport spots a cultural shift, and it's not just about productivity, it's about survival. Let's see how this shift threatens your focus and, oddly, your future. Back in 2016, Newport noticed a strange epidemic. Knowledge workers glued to social media, drowning in email, and multitasking their way to zero focus. He recalls a top AI researcher who couldn't concentrate for more than 30 minutes before checking a phone, proof that intense focus was vanishing fast. But here's the kicker. This same researcher admitted his best breakthroughs required deep, undistracted hours. Intrigued, Newport dives deeper, hinting at a hidden skill most are losing. Think of your mind like a muscle gym. Deep work is heavy lifting, slow, concentrated, and exhausting, but what builds strength? Shallow work. It's like endless treadmill running. You're active but not growing. Newport paints your focus as limited gym time. Each distraction steals set reps from the real muscle building session. And every time you check social media mid-task, you're basically throwing off your rhythm and gasping for air. That's the mechanism stealing your brain's power. Here's the surprise. Mastering deep work doesn't just make you productive. It rewires how you learn, think, and feel success. Newport shows that those who can sink into deep focus get better results in less time and feel more fulfilled. So you're not just hustling harder, you're playing a whole new game. Deep work turns you into the architect of your future, not a passive spectator squeezed by noise. Newport doesn't just diagnose the problem, he hands you a toolkit. But these aren't your average productivity hacks. These are radical, sometimes brutal ways to defend your attention fortress against constant siege. Newport proposes a strange exercise. Train yourself to be bored. Sounds weird, but he points to media scholar Nicholas Carr, whose constant digital distractions rewired his brain to reject depth. Newport challenges you to resist reflexive phone checking, no matter how itchy it makes your fingers. The secret: embracing boredom rewires cravings away from distraction. Suddenly, the urge to scroll fades, opening a path back into deep focus. But how exactly does that happen? Keep this pour over your shoulder. Next, Newport pioneers scheduling every minute of his workday. No vague, get-to-it-later plans. He clips his day into deep work blocks like a chess grandmaster controlling the board. This isn't multitasking chaos but disciplined time blocking, guarded with ruthless boundaries. He shares the story of Carl Jung building a subterranean tower to isolate and work deeply. Scheduling recreates Jung's fortress mentally, so you don't need a literal bunker to own your focus. The killer move: ruthlessly cut out shallow work. Email, mindless meetings, social media, it's all a slow mental poison. Newport argues many knowledge workers spend over half their day on these hollow tasks. He spotlights a marketing consultant who slashed shallow work by 50%, doubling her output and reclaiming evenings. The takeaway: when you carve out shallow tasks, deep work expands naturally. Your calendar turns from fragmented noise into a powering launch ship. Social media gets a brutal verdict here. Newport's no Luddite, but he demands ruthless reevaluation, because social platforms are engineered to hijack your attention. Let's see why quitting or limiting them could be the smartest career move you make. Newport tells the story of a law professor who deleted Facebook after discovering it shredded her reading time and mental clarity. She realized endless scrolling was stealing hours that could fuel research or teaching prep. Newport details how social media creates an illusion of productivity or network maintenance, masking what's actually loss, the true creative and learning time. This professor's decision wasn't fear or tech hate. It was a pragmatic reclaiming of mental bandwidth. He introduces a framework: the craftsman's mindset versus the junkie's mindset when it comes to digital tools. The craftsman asks, "Does this tool meaningfully advance my goals?" The junkie just reacts to pings and likes. This mindset shifts decisions from impulsive to strategic. If a tool doesn't meet a clear benefit-cost ratio favoring your deep work, it's time to cut it loose or restrict it fiercely. Surprisingly, Newport finds even slight changes, like scheduled email checks or social media blocks, can free up chunks of deep work time. One entrepreneur swapped daily Instagram for weekly check-ins, which boosted his creative output while keeping connections intact. The lesson? You don't have to quit cold turkey. Practical tweaks often deliver outsized returns on attention. Newport's not leaving you hanging. He introduces quirky rituals designed to make deep work habitual, even joyful. These aren't dry rules. They're bold moves that flip your workday from frantic scatter to calm precision. He points to author J.K. Rowling, who rented a hotel room to write Harry Potter. No distractions allowed, only boundaries and deadlines. Newport urges a similar ritual, defining exactly when and where deep work happens, making it inviolable. This clarity removes decision fatigue. If you're lost in chaos, you're losing your mental edge. The mystery? How a simple physical or time boundary turbocharges your brain's ability to focus and create flow. Workspace matters more than you think. Newport argues that clutter, noise, and interruptions are like mental static that sabotages deep work. He shares a story of a software developer who switched to noise-canceling headphones and a tidy office, doubling uninterrupted coding hours. The principle: conditions for focus have to be designed carefully and defended aggressively. Finally, downtime isn't laziness. It resets the deep work faucet. Newport warns against the misconception that constant work means more done. Instead, regular breaks, walks without your phone, or even naps help replenish concentration reserves. The real transformation: when you string these rituals together, deep work becomes a sustainable, energizing habit, not a punishing chore. Last, Newport helps you build your own deep work system. Not some vague advice, but a personalized blueprint rooted in science and real stories. Ready to architect your best work life. Newport argues against overwhelming New Year resolutions. Instead, he suggests starting with even 30 minutes of daily deep work, gradually raising the bar. He tells the story of an entry-level consultant who began blocking half an hour for intense report writing. Over weeks, this simple habit snowballed into multi-hour power sessions, completely changing her career trajectory. The catch: most quit before building that momentum. Don't be that person. Tracking focus meticulously is a game changer. Newport recommends keeping a journal or spreadsheet recording deep work sessions, distractions, and feelings. Like a scientist tweaking an experiment, you learn what times, rituals, and environments optimize your brain power. He credits this feedback loop for his own consistent output, as if you were tuning a finely calibrated instrument. The best payoff is transformation. Deep work doesn't just get tasks done, it grows your skills to mastery level, making you nearly irreplaceable. Newport quotes a computer scientist who attributes rapid career growth to hours spent studying deeply every day. Deep work changes your identity from overwhelmed multitasker to deliberate craftsman, powerful, focused, and fulfilled. Remember that quiet Seattle cafe where Newport closed his laptop, refusing distraction? Now you get why he did it, and how you can too. Deep work isn't a magic pill. It's a hard-earned skill, a fortress you build brick by brick with habits, rituals, and ruthless focus. Try this tonight. Pick one task, no phone, no email, just pure, undistracted work for 30 minutes. Watch how that feels. That's your first step, cutting through the noise and reclaiming mental clarity. Deep work might just be the rare superpower you didn't know you were missing. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.